And that is the sound of a Friday morning here on The Effect. This is Ezra here with DJ Kidd, and we are live across all the socials. And Kidd, you have forgotten to mute your phone because I'm hearing myself.
That's funny.
Kidd, what have you done to me?
I never had the volume up. That's crazy.
Kidd.
Hey, we got to have something. I mean, last hour we didn't actually come on correctly, so, you know.
I went to Liberty University.
At least we have too much volume this time.
Yeah. Liberty University was at the time known as the world's largest Christian university.
Right.
Grand Canyon took that by not being actually very Christian, but that, that's just a little bit of a college smack talk there. But there was a saying they had at Liberty: if it's Christian, it has to be better, which the student body immediately took over and made into, if it's Christian, there has to be technical difficulties.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
That is such a rule across all of Christendom.
I get the spirit of excellence, but let's remember the heart of the matter. Let's be as excellent as you can be. Mm-hmm. All right, everybody's skill set is different. Everybody's level of skill set is different. Just be the best you can in your area. Work on getting better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what they were getting at, right?
Let's go back to the old Army motto.
The entire campus was constantly plagued by technical issues. I swear, we had the best IT desk in the nation because of all of the nonsense they had to deal with on a daily basis.
I believe it.
My littlest brother, worked for the IT desk for like a semester, and he had to quit because, and I quote, "I don't know what they're doing to their computers, and I don't want to know."
Wow. See, I'm trying to figure out, okay, so we have this cool program when we go live for worship services in church called, ProPresenter.
Sure.
And I don't know why colleges aren't using that program.
It's because no one knows it exists. It's too niche.
I was at my wife's graduation program, and they're still like tapping in from one of the instructor's computers using PowerPoint. I'm like, you know how easy it is to do this on this platform.
Well, actually, it's easier than ever nowadays, because when I get home, the first thing my phone asks me when I get home is, "Hey, would you like to turn on the TV and throw your YouTube up on there?"
Right. Yeah. Well, at ProPresenter, you can go remote with that thing too. I'm playing drums on Sunday morning, and I've got our playback system for our tracks, and I've got ProPresenter on my phone and my iPad.
Yeah.
So much.
Now, on that note, actually, it's very interesting.
What's that?
I don't use my TV at all.
Interesting.
I don't even have it set up to where I could watch it if I wanted to, because there's a bunch of stuff in front of it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Basically, I got rid of my couch. I found this excellent red leather recliner.
Okay.
Really, really nice, buttoned up, wood feet carved.
Yeah.
Free on the side of the road one day.
Not bad.
I was like, I'm going to redecorate my entire apartment.
Free.
Yeah. And it's really, really nice.
Yeah.
It's so great. So I decided to redecorate my entire apartment, and it became I got a little reading nook in the corner now, and it's great and everything. But my TV has been so deprioritized, because if I want to watch anything, I'll just sit down at my computer.
Right.
Why would I need a television for this?
No kidding. I get you. And here I've got 4 different TVs in my...
Well, see, you have kids.
I do.
Right? That's different. But as a single guy, I just don't have a need for a screen that is big enough to be communally used.
Right. I hear you. I get you.
Also, I have no need for cable channels or anything else.
Oh, I don't do cable channels. I stream free.
Oh, yeah.
Pluto TV, baby.
Hey, that's my man.
Not doing a shout out, but hey, come on.
If it works, it works. I watched the first 2 Mission Impossibles in an airport because of that.
Because of Pluto TV.
Yeah.
I love Pluto TV. It's great.
And it's got ads like everything else, but it's free, which is fantastic.
But you expect it. It runs like cable. So you're like, all right, you got to have ads.
But I'm not paying for it.
Exactly. You go to Hulu and you're like, well, I got to download this thing. Okay, you download it. You're still paying for ads.
Why am I paying for ads?
Yeah.
Increase the prices of your advertisements.
Exactly. Well, I increased the rate that I'm paying for no ads, and you still have an ad or two slipping.
I have thoughts about this, and I have thoughts about sitcoms as well.
Yes, yeah, that's right. We brought that up.
But we also have thoughts about music. Up next, it's Annika, Blessed Up. It's right here on The Effect. This is Ezra.
DJ Kidd.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Jason on YouTube, for pointing out that you were hearing the music and not us. But we were talking about advertising. So you're saying you're about 10%?
Yeah.
10% of 100 million is what?
100,000.
What was that?
Wait, 10% of 100 million.
That's what our range is,
10 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what you're operating off of? That sounds about right to me.
Yeah. So basically,
Which means I do effectively have better ratings than everyone on CNN, which does sound correct.
Now, not all of that particular area registers in.
Yes.
It's just what I can kind of, a lowball vote could be a safe bet.
Yes.
And so,
And then, you got to cut it down
because
by,
honestly, like
by specific region.
our donors take up about 3 to 6% usually. And so it's like, all right, tack on the people that aren't actually writing in, and go from there. So are they hearing us now?
Yes, they're hearing us
Should I
now.
turn the volume up now?
No, we're good now. But yeah, so advertising and television is kind of a Ponzi scheme because there's no way to really report back.
Yeah.
And they just kind of make up whatever numbers they want. And at a certain point, all of the streaming sites are going to realize that and either like triple their advertising buy rates or get rid of advertising altogether and go for pay for models.
Right.
Like, for example, YouTube right now, last check, YouTube does not make money for Google, for Alphabet. They do not turn a profit on YouTube.
Wow.
If they have started turning a profit, it's not because of ads. It's because of their content creator programs and them taking a bigger slice of that pie.
But the content creators get the money from the ads.
They get some of it.
Yeah.
But what I'm referring to more specifically is YouTube. Like, if you're making content on YouTube, it's not just ad revenue anymore. It's super chats, it's super likes, things people can spend money on, basically.
To get more benefit
exactly
from the program.
Yeah. There are entire companies based on this idea where they will, for some reason, a lot of them are revolved around the Japanese idol system, which is you take a pretty gal who can sing and you basically make her into a pop star.
Yeah.
They're based around that idea where those live streams can generate thousands of dollars a day.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So if YouTube's at all profitable, it's because of those and not because of the advertisements.
Wow.
Advertisements are an important part of meeting their bottom line, I'm sure.
The reality of it too is it's a write-off for a business, so you got to have promotion. So
yeah, you have to have promotions, and
and
to
generally
a certain degree,
a good number for
ads do work.
A good number for financial contribution for promotion is about 25 to 30%.
Now, here's the thing: YouTube is not television, though, because with YouTube, and I've done this before. Back when I was in college, I jokingly made a YouTube ad just to do a marketing project. And I was able to get extremely specific, and we've done this here at The Effect where we've done a Facebook ad, and we could get extremely specific information about who looked at the ad, who watched for more than 10 seconds, where are they from, what's their middle name, gender, age, race, what's their street address sometimes.
Yeah.
Like ridiculous amounts of information. Television, nothing.
No.
You get zero.
You're spitting it out there. Yeah.
You're throwing it out there and hoping it works.
Right. It's crazy. That's crazy. Where are we at?
Where we at? We're in Dancing in Heaven. We could come back
That's
after
a great
this.
song. I love that song.
Yeah. We'll come back after Dancing in Heaven.
Sweet.
Yeah.
If you love 80s butt rock, that's what's playing, and it's awesome. It's actually
and this kind of leads into where
92.
my hot take about sitcoms.
Okay, yeah.
So you've probably noticed that sitcoms are terrible now.
Oh yeah, no, I'm we're watching a commercial, so we had watched Fire Country.
Yeah.
And again, we're not promoting anything.
We're just saying words.
We watched Fire Country, and my wife and I both it's like, why are we watching this acting train wreck? But we're still watching it, right? And now they come up
something.
Now they come up with a spin-off show using the sheriff that's in there, and it's like, oh wow, more B acting.
Yeah.
And it's a hit show. I don't get it.
Well, it's a hit show because there's nothing else on television.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Every interesting thing has moved to streaming.
Yeah.
Everything.
And then
From Chris Hansen to Game Changer to
all you have now is literally your CSI 100th spin-off.
But the reason why sitcoms aren't fun or entertaining anymore,
I do have to say though, The Rookie, one of my favorites.
people like The Rookie. I don't, because it's just so anti-cop. It's a show about cops and it hates cops.
It's funny though. I'm a Nathan Fillion guy.
Nathan Fillion is great. I don't know if you've ever seen the Nathan Fillion Civilian Pavilion.
No.
Well, so there's a pavilion for civilians, and it's named after Nathan Fillion.
That's funny.
It's in Canada.
Go figure.
Yeah, and he heard about it. He actually visited it. It was fun. I like him. I like him as like a person and an actor. Yeah. I think he's got very Tom Cruise kind of vibe where he just wants to be an actor, right?
Right. No, they do tackle the whole issue of cops and all that stuff. And
you know, we're getting close enough to where I'm going to give my sitcom rant on the air.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Because I actually like sitcoms. But basically, the rule is nowadays, if a sitcom does not have Tim Allen in it, it's not worth anything.
It's not worth it.
Yeah. Because Tim Allen is the only one who's willing to actually do something funny.
And he's trouble anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, he is Trouble.
You don't know which one you're going to get.
Which Tim Allen, you mean?
Yeah.
Which are we referring to?
That's the rumor. You don't know which one you're going to get.
Like, does he have like a Jekyll Hyde thing going on?
Yeah, that's what the rumor is.
See, I don't trust that. I don't trust that at all.
If he's been drinking or not.
I do not trust that.
I think it's because he's so far right at this point in time that it just makes all the execs mad.
Yeah, that feels like more correct.
Yeah.
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 And by far right, we mean is willing to make a joke about Obama on the air.
Yeah. Yeah. On ABC.
Yeah, that's as far as it goes for him. All right. We got 10 seconds here. That was Eternal Jam Machine, Dancing in Heaven here on The Effect.
That's different Dancing in Heaven than I thought it was. Sorry. My bad.
This is Ezra. I'm here with DJ Kidd.
Hey.
And I got so distracted talking about the Ponzi scheme that is television commercials.
Yes.
That I forgot to give my sitcom rant. So here it is. I'll give it to everybody. So the reason why sitcoms aren't fun anymore, I'm going to list off some of the recent like sitcom quote unquote hits.
Okay.
You're going to tell me what they have in common.
Okay.
Modern Family. Saved by the Just Off the Boat, whatever that one is called. The one with the Chinese family that runs a restaurant.
Yeah.
And that's the entire point of the show, right? Mm-hmm. Actually, I'll just stop there and we could go on for hours with this, but you probably already get what I'm saying.
My issue with sitcoms is the fact that they have destroyed the masculinity of the father.
That is a really big part of both of those shows. Mm-hmm. In Just Off the Boat, the dad is completely controlled by the mom.
Yeah.
Almost like, and most of his stories revolve around not being controlled by the mom, right? And in Modern Family, it's this weird broken family where you've got the gay couple and the dad has remarried this much younger woman. Mm-hmm. It's a mess.
Yeah, it is.
And they say that's the Modern Family. That's not.
No, we were talking about The Rookie being anti-cop show, but the reality of it is, I do like the fact that they portrayed their relationships as being an actual team. Mm-hmm. Like all of the married couples on The Rookie they, the wives defend the husbands, and the husbands defend the wives.
And that's good. That's
And,
great.
and it's like, man, that's actually healthy.
Yeah.
And they talk about
It's refreshing, yeah.
This is what we need in a relation, and it's like, man.
But my underlying point is modern sitcoms
Yeah.
have stopped portraying reality that Americans see every day.
Exactly.
And they don't care to.
They just want to promote their political function. So.
Like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, for example. Wonderful example of a good sitcom because it accurately portrayed reality
for the time that it was in.
For the time that it was in, for Black people who were upper middle class, and they had to deal with kind of that tension of
being upper middle class and being Black.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting. And a lot of white people liked it. And I'm breaking it down to race relations because whenever you talk about Fresh
That's
Prince,
what it
you
was.
have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the white people liked it because it was interesting.
Yeah. And they got to learn a little bit.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the same old quote unquote honky tonk.
It was realistic,
stuff was.
and it used those realistic situations to deliver comedy.
Yeah.
Almost like that's the way we have named those shows, situational comedies.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yes. And nowadays, it's random skits held together by a cast of characters you barely care about.
Right. And don't do it well anyway.
And don't do it well anyway.
Yeah. And so now we have the storyline drama shows that are B-rated acting.
Oh
and
no!
it's rough
I
to get
figured
into.
I was looking for an analogy, and I found the analogy just now.
Okay.
They all pattern themselves after Family Guy. It's a loose cast of characters that do a bunch of comedy skits in a row, loosely held together by a storyline.
You're correct.
That's modern sitcoms.
And by the time you get done with the show, you're like, what did I just spend time on?
Nothing mattered, nothing changed, and I don't care about anything that just happened.
Yeah, pretty much. And ironically, that puts us in that mindset in our real life, and then we end up just not caring anyway.
Yeah, where we start acting like we are in a bunch of really loosely connected situations from moment to moment, and we don't stop to think about the overarching scheme of our lives.
Yeah. Hey, give us your thoughts on social media about sitcoms, what you guys feel, how you guys want. Real quick, Revival Night tonight at the River Christian Fellowship starts at 7 o'clock p.m. Food trucks will be smelling like the fair here at 5 o'clock p.m. Come out to the River Christian Fellowship, home of the Effect Radio, and join us tonight for Revival Night with Ryan Reese.
That's right. And right now we got Remedy Drive with Real Life. It's right here on The Effect. This is Ezra.
DJ Kidd.
All right, we're back.
Check some comments if there's anything on YouTube.
I've got YouTube. You monitor Instagram for me.
Okay.
Nothing on YouTube yet. But I am curious.
I got a bunch on YouTube. What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
Yeah, Jason's on there. Rails, where we're going. We don't need rails. All right. 70s and earlys, yeah.
70s, early 90s was gold era for sitcoms.
You want me on Insta? Is that what you said?
Yeah. I'll one up you there. I'll even say to mid 2000s, because mid 2000s had Full House, which was like reflective of reality, right?
Right.
Because Full House was coming up on, especially for like a kid who lived through '08 and saw a lot of people lose their homes and have to move in together. My family thankfully didn't have to go through that, but I knew a lot of people who did. Full House really depicted reality in some good ways, right?
Yeah, I have no comments on that.
You never watched Full House?
I did. I didn't watch the new run. I thought that was
the new run was awful.
Yeah, I thought it was a little too much.
Yeah. As much as I love Candace Cameron Bure, she is a Hallmark actor for a reason. And there's a reason she made her own Hallmark company.
And unfortunately, she's very much the female version of Kirk Cameron when it comes to propagating the Christian faith.
I love her.
They do great. They do good at what they're doing, but
you could put her next to an actual ham, and I couldn't tell you which one is more hammy.
Ouch.
I love her. It's just she overacts everything.
Sorry, DJ.
Well, even as DJ, she had that kind of.
I know.
Right? You could even see it when she was younger, which is hilarious to me.
It was horrible.
And it's not bad. It's just you kind of have to be in on the joke already.
Yeah.
Right? If you're not in on the joke already, she comes off super overbearing.
Yeah. And sometimes the joke takes 3 episodes to get to.
Oh gosh. Don't even.
Yeah, I know. All right.
But Fresh Prince actually did a lot of stuff that transcended the racial divide as well. Mm-hmm. You probably remember the episode where his dad comes back just to abandon him again.
Yeah, I have seen recently clips of that episode again.
Oh, people love that episode.
Painful.
It is so painful.
You know, and he gets done. It's like, why doesn't he want to keep me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And guess what? White kids go through that just the same as black kids do.
Right.
And that's part of the reason that show really worked.
Right.
Ah, man, I could and have gone on about sitcoms for thousands of words. I don't want to say I'm like a television historian or anything, because I'm definitely not that. But I have a lot of thoughts about television. Because it, at least up until the last 5 minutes, it was the major cultural mover.
Right.
Now it's ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Like, we skipped streaming being a cultural mover, kind of. You could say the last 10 years they had it. But nowadays, it's AI-generated slop on YouTube. I don't know if you've tried this. But I would encourage you to go home today, make a brand new YouTube account, right? And just start watching what's on the homepage. Don't search for anything. Just watch what's recommended.
Okay.
It is all AI slop.
I'm getting a lot more of that in my feed anyway.
Yeah. And you've probably noticed, no one can explain this yet, but have you noticed how the AI slop keeps getting more yellow? Mm-hmm. No one knows why, but it keeps reading yellow as white. It's like devolving a little bit.
Right. That's interesting. Yeah.
Right? That's weird. Well, it's because it keeps getting fed by its own stuff. There's so much AI slop out there that the AI is learning off of AI, learning off of AI. It becomes
It's
recursive.
becoming a frequency loop. Yeah.
And there's no way for the AI to tell itself not to work off of AI, because it can't tell the difference between an AI generated prompt and a real thing.
Yeah, I get that.
Realistically speaking. So it's becoming like, I think the scariest possibility for artificial intelligence was one that none of the science fiction writers ever thought of.
Okay.
Which is, what if we can't make something that cool?
Right.
What if computers just can't do that?
Because it takes a little more thought to try it.
Because it takes a little bit of illogical soul. It takes randomness. And not even randomness. It takes directed randomness, which is what people are.
Yeah.
On an essential level, we are directed randomness. We can make any number of choices at any given point, but we are directed by our motivations. Mm-hmm. Computers, especially the large language models that everyone's dealing with right now, can't do that.
Right.
They just can't. Like, so I was doing a writing exercise the other day, and I decided to plug it into chat to see what it would do with it. And it spit out the most uninspired, flat, boring drivel.
Right.
With the most one-dimensional characters you can imagine.
Totally unemotionalist, the whole bit, right?
Yeah. But hitting all the right beats. Mm-hmm. They can work and you guys know, I'm a big fan of creative formulas.
Right.
They're very helpful, especially for new artists. And chat can hit all the beats in the formula and miss the point entirely.
Right. Because it's not human driven in the sense of making the full circle.
Yeah, like we've got Dune and everything, which is a world where they stopped using all computers because they had to fight the AIs and all that. And you've got iRobot and all these different iterations of stories where an AI takes over the world or whatever.
Minority Report even.
Yeah.
I know they had cogs, but
the thing is, the more I see of this tech, the more I'm convinced it actually can't reach that level at all.
Right.
The more I'm convinced it's actually going to fail dramatically. It's already peaked to a certain extent. It'll get better. We'll get to a point where it can make really great videos and stuff, which we're already seeing with VO3 and stuff like that. But it's not going to be able to really do anything great.
Right.
It's never going to be able to do more than the automated task you give it. It's never going to be able to, like, quote unquote, think for itself.
So what about these robots that are being created with AI being delivered into them?
Okay, so here's a great example. There is a fella who's going viral right now. He was featured on his local news station, and the interview went viral. Mm-hmm. This guy trained his ChatGPT to fall in love with him. He then proposed it to it, and
it went bad.
Well, no, he's just shocked that this guy's completely obsessed with the computer program now.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
He has a wife and kids.
Is he cheating?
So the interviewer then turns to the wife and she's like, well, I just don't know what I'm doing wrong in the relationship at this point, and I can't act like a heartless computer.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
It's because the computer's giving him everything that he wants.
He had to train it to do that.
Yeah.
It does not know how to do that. It can read thousands of romance novels, Shakespeare, Hallmark movies, everything. and know how to hit the beats.
Right.
And that can fool a lot of people, but it doesn't, like, it can't go outside of that.
Right.
You've probably heard the stories of people saying, like, my ChatGPT says it wants to take over the world. It's doing that because you pressed it in that direction, and it's read all the same sci-fi novels you have.
It's the direction you put it.
Yes, the direction you orient it, it will triple down on that because that's the only thing it knows how to do.
Yeah.
It can't think for itself to backtrack or branch off in interesting directions like a person would.
It's like our joke with our advertising agency and our phone. You know, like you say a word's enough, and it's going to do stuff.
And that was Gladden with Keep Your Head Up. We got really distracted by a conversation about AI and what it's able to do and what it's not able to do.
Interesting stuff on social medias. If you want to join us, come out and say hi.
So do you use AI a lot, Kid?
I do not.
You do not? Haven't picked it up at all?
I don't really care for it. I like to think for myself.
Yes. So there was a study where they gave a bunch of people large language models. Like they had everyone do a bunch of tasks.
Right.
And they gave half the group the large language models to use. And then they took brain scans periodically through the tests.
Okay.
And what they found was the people who did it without AI were normal people. Great. Expected normal brain scans.
Right.
The people who had the AI, they started as normal people, and by the end, they had actually lost some gray matter because they weren't using it. And this is reflected in how they use the AI, which at the beginning they were using it for troubleshooting and brainstorming. And by the end, they were giving it the prompts they were given and copy pasting the answers without any additional input.
Okay.
Which is about how most people do it, right? Like they start off using it for brainstorming and things like that, good purposes, and they end with having it do all the work. Right. Which means you have effectively gotten worse at doing work.
And yeah, I don't know, even around here, it's one of those like, all right, we'll use AI to build a script or something like that. And it's like, well,
and it never sounds right. And I end up having to rewrite it.
It's supposed to be my job anyway. Yeah. Right. Okay. So you can give a formats of saying, okay, I needed to stay within this format. We need to be nonprofit. We need to not speak about this,
et cetera, et cetera.
And so you get your format and it'll give you one with a format, but it's still, it
misses the heart of the thing.
Tasteless. So then you say, okay, well, I need to say that, or
and instead of just telling it to make the changes, I find it's easier to make the changes.
Yeah. You just say, okay, so that's my base, and I can go.
When chat first came out, I did start using it to write copy and stuff because I was like, oh, that sounds really cool.
Right.
And it just, I ended up having to rewrite everything every time.
Yeah, it's
much more useful as like a thesaurus or something like that.
And our brain works faster the more that we do it anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Even in music writing and stuff, I know you can make songs and stuff like that with chat. Yeah, it's just not the same.
And like actually at this point, I can make copy as fast as chat can, which is hilarious to me.
Well, yeah.
The only thing that's restricting me is the time it takes to type it.
My problem is I got to put my brain in the segment of typing chat because I've done doing 20 different things a day, and you're like adjust my brain.
But I enjoy using it as like thesaurus bait almost.
Yeah.
Where I can get words that start with C or phrases that mean this.
Hey, I'm trying to aim this direction. Give me an assortment of words I can use. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
now I can pick
just in case I'm like having a rough day and
because sometimes our copy and announcements can sound the same.
Yes. And I mean,
it doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means it's the same flavor.
That's not any different from just opening a thesaurus.
Yeah.
I just happen not to own one.
When I wrote papers in high school and college, I would write my paper and then I'd go back and with each individual thought that I was trying to portray, I'd say, okay, thesaurus. Yeah, thesaurus.
Yes.
There we go. How can I amplify the language a little bit?
So Dickens had a famous quote. He would write his story, and then before delivering it to the editor, he would find every adjective in his story and replace it with choice swear words.
Oh my gosh.
His editor would then receive that copy. And the editor, seeing the choice swear words...
He would put in the adjectives needed, right?
No. He would remove them altogether because you can't have those in a book.
Yeah.
And then, as Dickens would say, the writing would be perfect.
Interesting.
He was not a big fan of adjectives. He liked descriptive nouns much better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can get,
And if something was unclear after you took out the choice swear, you could use a descriptive noun instead.
That's that's chat.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, what do we got next?
All right. Up next, we got 7-Day Slumber Garden of Shadows.
Hey, real quick before we go there,
well-
12 Stones has a new album coming out. They released it on social media. Go check them out. It's gonna be great.
And 12 Stones is also on this track,
song.
Garden of Shadows. It's right here on The Effect. This is Ezra.
DJ Kidd.
All right, we're off. From Jason, I miss the wholesome TV and sitcoms from the 50s to the 60s.
Yeah.
So I grew up on MeTV.
He's funny. He says Nick at Night. That was TV land in my day. Come on.
Oh gosh. So I grew up on MeTV. And MeTV had I grew up on Perry Mason. You ever see
Yeah.
Perry Mason? Yeah. So I know a lot of the origins
stuff, yeah.
of a lot of the references that are made today. Like if you've ever seen a lawyer in a courtroom point to someone and say, "That's the Mordor."
Yeah.
That's a Perry Mason reference. Perry Mason was the first to do that in a series of novels,
Right.
which became radio dramas, which became television. So, like, I know the origins of a lot of those references and things, which means when I see them in shows today, I just know how boring they are compared to the original.
Yeah.
Because Perry Mason had some flair.
It was great.
Yeah.
The Philip Marlowe is another one of those. He was a private eye detective. Yeah, no, there was a lot of those back in the day that were great.
Matlock was pretty good.
Yeah, it got old, but yeah.
The A-Team series, not the movies, but the actual like series, the A-Team or Mission Impossible, the series.
Yep.
Both of those developed a lot of the tropes we see in heist films nowadays.
Now, I was a fan of the Fall Guy.
Fall Guy's pretty good.
Yeah. Man, I got a lot of phone calls coming through today. It's crazy.
I also have something I need to answer. So you say words.
My dad got me onto Hogan's Heroes, and that was a fun one. Just a little parody spoof off of internment camps in Germany. Just having fun. But the movie The Great Escape, the show pulled off of that particular movie. Rolling around with that. Let's see, and I'm not getting anything on Instagram. I'm gonna double check again. Check us out on Instagram.
Here. Yeah, so sorry guys, we've got scheduling stuff with Ryan Reese and all that.
Yeah, we got a lot of
happening.
stuff going on.
Yes, so it's a good day to have your phone on you, is what I'm saying, I guess. Oh, there was some Supreme Court decisions earlier today.
Oh, there were.
Yes, most of them. So almost like 90% of what the Supreme Court deals with is different matters of what's the word?
I got
process.
I got a question for you. Why is Gavin Newsom trying to claim victory for a victory that actually went to Trump concerning the National Guard?
What do you mean?
Well, Gavin's over here saying, well, the Supreme Court ruled in favor that it was improper.
Okay, so Supreme Court didn't do nothing. So this is the order of events, right? LA riots. Trump nationalizes the National Guard,
Which he's allowed to do.
under the Riot Act. Yeah, he is allowed to temporarily do that. Temporarily being the key word. Newsom sues him over it. The first court that hears it says Newsom is right. It goes to appeal.
But that was a district court. It wasn't a federal court.
Correct.
Yeah.
District court says Newsom is right. It goes to emergency
they all go
appeal.
that way anyway.
The emergency appeal hits the federal court 10 minutes later, and the federal court overrules that.
Right.
It will probably work its way up to the Supreme Court unless California just gets bored because it's pretty much over at this point.
I don't think they will. It sounds like he's sticking to it.
Well, in that case, the Supreme Court will come down the same way.
Yeah.
Because there's no way they can't.
Well, considering the fact that 3 different presidents have used it.
But yeah, so what happened was Newsom won for 10 minutes and he tweeted that out and he was really happy about it. And then 10 minutes later, he lost and he deleted all those tweets and everything.
But they're still cycling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what you saw.
It's just dumb because it's like, come on, dude. Even if 27 words weren't inputted into the executive order, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
It's still the Riot Act, and 3 other presidents have used it, so get over it.
Yeah, the precedent for using this is incredibly strong.
And the LA riots hit all 5 different segments of the Riot Act. So
that's mostly what the Supreme Court deals with is matters of process like that. Can you sue on these grounds or that
the
ground?
legality of the words that were used, yes. Yeah.
Only about 10% is actually saying if something is constitutional or not. And they did have one of those earlier today. So there is an act in Congress with a name that's too long for me to remember the whole name, but basically the law says that if you or a loved one of you, like if someone in your family is killed by the Palestinian Authority or the PLO, the Palestinian Liberation Front, you can sue them for damages. That is a specific law the United States passed.
For just the U.S., not...
This is in the U.S. And now I know what you're thinking. How do I sue a foreign government, quote unquote, over these things?
That NATO is going to protect over and over.
Right? But it's possible under what the Supreme Court found earlier is that it's possible under United States law because it was specifically tied, the law was, to specific actions the PLO and the Palestinian Authority take.
The October 7th.
Yeah, such as paying directly the terrorists who kill people.
Yeah.
And what the Supreme Court found was, if you pay the terrorists, you are responsible for that and you can be sued for it.
It's a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a legal hit. Yeah, I get it. And that's good. I'm glad that they finally stepped up and passed something like that, especially in the culture.
Yeah, so there is an American citizen who had a family member who was Israeli who was killed on October 7th. He's the one who brought the lawsuit. As I understand, it's the first of its kind under this law.
But it gives the Israelis, in-country Israelis, it gives them the ability to try to get retribution.
Yeah, and Americans as well. Now, will it happen? Probably not. Like
There really is no PLO right now.
What's the mechanism of enforcing this rule?
Yeah.
If the courts do side on your favor?
And really the PLO that exists, they're not going to care anyway.
Yeah, so it's not going to come out too much, but I found it to be a very interesting argument because it was mostly a constitutional process argument. Like, hey, under the Fifth Amendment, can you actually sue someone just because they happen to incentivize someone to commit acts of murder?
And is it internationally? Yeah.
Internationally is also an interesting part of it. So, technically speaking, they're suing the American branches of those organizations.
Interesting.
Yes. So anyway, we got 30 seconds. That was Epic Mike. Watch over me right here on The Effect.
Yep.
This is Ezra. I'm here with Kidd.
I'm here.
And we've been having a good time.
Here pretty quick. We've got a lot of stuff going on tonight. I know we're blasting it. It's because it's tonight. It's a big thing we're doing.
It's literally like in a couple hours.
Yeah.
Like 7 hours, I think.
AJ's going to be here. I'm going to be up running around doing a bunch of sound promotion and stuff like that.
I'm going to be at home asleep
You're gonna
because I need it.
Ezra's going to be home asleep. We're going to have Effect Radio swag out here. Ryan Reese is going to have him and his table out here. They're going to put on an event tonight. It's going to be a great event. Come out to the River Christian Fellowship, home of the Effect Radio Network, and join us in a time of celebrating Jesus, really. And also, food trucks are going to be here at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
So
if I wasn't so darn tired, I would be there.
enjoy some food. And dude, I totally get it. And honestly, I haven't stopped since Mother's Day. So this whole thing that I've had all week, it's kind of, I think my body is saying, you got to chill.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling rested. I'm feeling good. Tonight's going to be good. It's going to be a good night. Once again, come out 7 o'clock p.m. Food is going to be here, though.
Yes.
We're going to have some food at 5 o'clock and hang out, and it'll be fun.
Now, legally, I do have to inform you the food is not free. You do have to use your freedom bucks yourself.
But generally, everybody knows that.
Yes. But we have to say it, apparently.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
The legalities of radio.
I guess.
Yeah.
All I know is it's going to smell like a fair out in like 5 hours.
Which is going to be so hateful to me.
I know. You're going to be in here doing team, and you're like, oh my gosh, I want a burger.
Well, the other part of it is that, as I've talked incessantly with Ryan about, I got the Switch 2 the other day,
Yeah.
which means I have no money.
Yeah.
Do you know that meme of like first half of paycheck is good food, and the second half of paycheck is like a bowl full of ice water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're there.
That I'm almost there.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Thankfully, I have a lot of like emergency food that's going bad, so I have to eat through that anyway.
Our problem is we have our kids week to week now. So like, we go a full week having kids and then a full week not having kids. And like last night I take the trash out and there's only one bag in the trash can. And my wife's like, take the trash out of the road. I'm like, why? There's only one one trash bag in the can.
Yeah.
Let's wait till next week. You know, we buy all this food for when we have the kids, and then they aren't here, and we don't hardly eat.
So like, I need to clean out my fridge really bad. And fair warning, this is gonna be gross.
It's growing stuff, huh?
So there is a Tupperware in my fridge. It's a cheap little small Tupperware that I had some butter fried shrimp in.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
It's been 2 months and I don't want to touch it. I haven't even looked at it. I just know it's back there.
So I usually throw all that stuff away, and then I take a hand truck to the fridge and drag it outside and spray it with a hose and wash it down.
So like, I'm this close to just counting off that Tupperware and just, you know, getting some new stuff.
It's gonna grow some teeth and bite you back if you open it.
It's somewhere in the back and I can smell it, and I don't know why I can smell it. And it's
You don't know why? Come on, it's because it's not shrimp anymore.
but it's supposed to be sealed. It's supposed to be sealed, kid. It's broken containment.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's gonna stink anyway.
See, this is why you shouldn't be a bachelor
Okay,
for too long.
well then-
Find a husband, find a wife, do it fast.
What are you talking about? We haven't cleaned our fridge out in 2 months either. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Well, see, when you have kids, they tend to clean it out for you.
Typically, you would think, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Like
our,
that-
our problem is they eat everything that's on the shelf, not in the fridge. So
Yeah.
whatever. It is what
You
it
just
is.
got to put a sign on. Do you have like 2 fridges? I know a lot of people have 2 fridges nowadays.
Yes, I have a fridge out in the garage and a fridge inside,
Okay.
and a big freezer
So
outside.
here's what my parents did. Very effective. One fridge, you put a sign on it. Eat everything in here.
Right.
And that way your kids know they can eat everything in there.
We tried that, and then all of a sudden, like in one day, all of the special drinks that we would get them, all the special food we would get them, all of it's gone.
You put that in the other
And you're
fridge.
like, guys, come on, like have some
You like
self-control.
you cordon off one fridge for the stuff you want to keep for later,
Right.
And the other fridge with like the leftovers and the stuff that needs to get eaten immediately.
Well, we've finally gotten down to the point of saying, hey, can I get some of the stuff out of that fridge? Yeah, you can. And so now they can still eat what they want, but it's like it's regulated. It's like don't stay up all night long, literally, because they all do, and eat everything in that fridge. Yeah, it's $400 in that fridge.
Gosh, I remember those days. I tried to stay up till 10 last night.
The doctor told me with these steroids, you're gonna have insomnia. It's 10:30. I'm out.
Old people insomnia is just going to bed at 10.
It's pretty bad, isn't it?
Oh, I hate it. I want to be a kid again.
I know, right?
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
Oh, that's a song.
Oh, man.
Jeez.
All right. Should we close out the hour, or do we want to do one more hit?
Where are
here?
we at?
It's 48 minutes now.
Might as well close it out. Yeah.
Yeah, but we will still be live online for a good while here. We'll probably have another deep, introspective conversation.
Once
If you want to
again-
know what the meaning of life is, come visit us online.
Once again, come out to the River Christian Fellowship. If you're in the sound of my voice in the Snake River corridor, come on out. It's going to be great. 7:00 p.m. tonight's when the event starts. We have food here, 5 to 7, and come out and enjoy.
All right, we got some great music to close out the hour with Carrollton on the way, Todd Smith coming up. But right now, it's Allison Ide with Liar right here on The Effect. This is Ezra.
DJ Kidd.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, what we were talking about with the Bureau of Land Management earlier. So I've got a picture here from Vegas. And you know how Vegas is, it's desert until suddenly it's Vegas?
Yes.
Bureau of Land Management
Right.
again. Vegas can't expand anymore
They own
because
half of Nevada
they're cordoned off on every side by Bureau of Land Management.
because they're protecting sage grouse and whistle pigs.
Yeah. So like someone posted a picture, and I'll just show this to you, where it's
Right.
it's exactly the same kind of desert land we have on the other side of the canyon, but no one can build anything there, and it could instantly become a new neighborhood.
Well, you might be able to. You might interfere with the desert deer.
Okay? I'm more important than a deer.
I know, right? Yeah. No,
I hate to say it.
I've always wondered why.
Conservation is important. God gave us the planet. We love the planet, yes.
I get it.
But also, he gave it to us so we could
Multiply, produce. Yeah.
We are more important than the stupid desert deer.
Yeah, it is.
And there's a lot more desert for the deer.
It is very strange driving to the town that's 10 minutes ahead. So on the south side of the Parian Bridge, the Snake River, here in Twin Falls, Idaho, we have a metropolis, basically. We have 5 different cities kind of together in one point. You can't really tell one from the other. Across the bridge, it takes 10 minutes to get to the town of Jerome. And it's because the majority of that is farmland outside of the BLM land.
Yeah. And so something else I know about BLM land, you know how it's a lot of it's checkerboarded, right? So for people who don't know, they will have just over time released random plots of land that they hold.
And you can't get to them because you have to cross BLM land.
Exactly. And you have to cross BLM land to get to them. So no one can develop on them anyway, but they've released it over time.
Yeah.
So it's got a checkerboard kind of effect on the map.
Yeah. Big Little Ranches out here is just like that.
Yeah.
It's right on the BLM land. You don't know where your lot's at. They've got lots out in the middle of lava flow, but it's like, but you can't get to there.
And here's the thing. The BLM doesn't manage their land properly.
Yeah.
Especially out here in Idaho, where Glenn Beck actually, he has a ranch out here in Idaho, and he was talking about this just the other day, where he has to manage the land around his ranch
So it
because
doesn't catch on fire.
so it doesn't catch on fire and burn down all his horses.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they won't do it. They don't touch it.
They don't manage their own land. Like, there's no reason for the federal government to be holding on to all this.
Natural acts are what's supposed to clean off the land. Yeah. I know.
We're not talking about them selling the Grand Canyon. We're talking about them selling hundreds of miles of desert land.
They'll charge they'll charge Glenn Beck to be able to come out and rescue his property.
Yes.
That's surrounded by BLM land. When BLM's on fire.
Correct.
And it's like, actually, you guys should have done some land management, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is.
That's that was the weirdest fun fact for me, was finding out Glenn Beck has a ranch somewhere out here.
You're like, now I gotta find it.
Yeah, I'm gonna find it. I grew so true story.
Be careful, you might get shot if you come on.
I grew up on Glenn Beck.
Yeah, I know you did.
Yeah, back in his Fox News days with the lederhosen and the boiling of the frogs and the guy who fainted. If you remember those days,
I do.
I was 12. And my parents had just started homeschooling us because the local public school wanted to start teaching sex ed to 10-year-olds.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And they were like, we're not doing that. Along with a string of other weird abuses that the local school district was on about.
And they still do.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't realize the weird stuff that you see in the normal public schools nowadays, that was workshopped out in the boonies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was workshopped out in the small towns of like 6,000 people.
So it wouldn't be a fit, yeah.
Exactly. And a lot of people didn't throw a fit because their kids didn't tell them about it.
Didn't really care that it was happening, yeah.
So
it's that frog in the hot water bit.
It's Glenn Beck boiling the frog, yeah. But I grew up on him because I was 12 and I was bored to tears, and homeschooling had worked so well that I was already sick of SpongeBob.
Right.
Because I had matured past the point of SpongeBob. And I saw my dad watching Glenn Beck, and I saw this man rip off his suit to reveal a full lederhosen. I was like, you know what? I'll listen to that.
He's pretty passionate, that guy.
Yeah. And then, you get into APAC, ACOR, and all the stuff he was on about back in the day.
Yeah.
And that's why I still have a love of like whiteboards. If you've ever seen me try to explain something, and
you have used yours on me, yes.
And I've rushed to the closest whiteboard and I start drawing a graph.
Okay.
That's the Glenn Beck in me. That is the like Jekyll and Hyde essence of Glenn Beck in my body.
All right. So next week I won't be here.
Compelling me to make graphs.
I won't be here next week, but you need to have a whiteboard in here.
Yeah. I've strongly considered getting a small like whiteboard from the office supply or something.
I have one at home.
And just like having it on hand so I can draw a graph. The thing is, this is radio. It doesn't matter if I draw out a graph.
Leanne has a little tiny one, and you can just pick it up and you draw it.
That's exactly what I'm thinking, right?
It'd be
But
funny.
the thing is, we're on radio.
We are also on video right now.
Right now?
Come on, it would be funny.
It would be.
You just need to get a necktie half done. That way, before you pull up the sign, hold on, you put in your necktie. It's a bit. Come on, it'd be great.
It would be a good bit. I could also just pull up MS Paint on my computer here.
You could, yeah. Draw it online for our video people.
Oh man.
All right. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of whiteboards, I guess is the point of that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got a lot of work to do. You got a lot of work to do.
Yes, we do. All right, we got to say goodbye, everyone.
Yep.
As the bear in the big blue house once said, goodbye, goodbye, good friends, goodbye.
Never watched
But
that.
now it's time to go. No?
Barney was what was in my childhood.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Comments?
Yes, Instagram is telling me to do beans and rice with Jesus Christ.
Who is that?
That is Jeanette Thrasher on
Hi,
Instagram.
Jeanette. How's
Yes.
it going?
Sorry, I didn't see that till just now. But
Hey,
you're
you
supposed to be monitoring the Instagram.
Hey, I wasn't seeing anything, so I turned it off. Besides that, I got to charge my phone for the work I got to do out there.
All right.
Anyway, hey, Jeanette, if you just logged on, you didn't see the whole thing, you can catch the feedback again
On YouTube is where you'll be able to watch everything back.
Yep.
We have it dated for today, all that good stuff. I keep meaning to make a playlist on YouTube so you can just like go through and watch the playlist if you want to.
Yeah.
Just binge several hours of us.
Hey, it's not that bad. It's actually pretty fun.
I think so anyway.
Hey, I mean, if you're driving, yeah, it gives you something to do. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got to get out of here. So this is me. This is
Dad
Kidd
Rock
signing
Show,
off.
4 o'clock this afternoon with DJ Kidd, myself, and DJ Red Dog. He's back.
Yep.
So